All right, we got some big fights tomorrow. I'm very excited to talk about them. So Shakur Stevenson is fighting Teofimo Lopez tomorrow, January 31st, 2026. With a great undercard, we got Keyshawn Davis fighting Jermaine Ortiz. Then we got Carlos Castro fighting Bruce Shushu Carrington. And I think Big Baby Miller is on. Here, let me look real quick. Yeah, Big Baby Miller, he's fighting Kingsley Ibe. I don't know who that is. But I don't really want to talk about Big Baby Miller. I feel like he's a very big cheater, and I don't even know how he has a license after how many drug tests he's failed. But that's besides the point. We're just going to talk about we're going to talk about my predictions for the fights tomorrow. I'm pretty confident in my pick. I said Shakur Teofimo is 50-50, but now that I'm really thinking about it, I think it's more like 70-30, and I'll get into that first. I want to talk about also Josh Kelly versus Bakram Murtazaliev tomorrow, and then we can do the undercard fights, and then we can do the main event. So yeah, let's get into it. So first off, Josh Kelly versus Bakram Murtazaliev, I think is a great fight, because y'all know how I'm so open about who I like, who I don't like. I don't like Josh Kelly. I feel like he's a very no one really rates him, but some people do. They're like, oh, look at this young good-looking kid who he has all these flashy moves. He threw 8 left hooks in a row. Wow. And I just don't really like him because of that. I feel like he's not very good. People don't really rate him, but I just don't like the guy. He could be a nice guy, but he shows a little too much like bravado for someone who has like a skill level as limited as him. And I think Bakram Murtazaliev is going to hurt him badly. Like, I don't think this is going to go past. I'll be surprised if it goes past 6 rounds. I honestly will, because Bakram Murtazaliev, last time we saw him against Tim Tszyu, he absolutely looked amazing. And I know Tim Tszyu's washed and all that, but still, Bakram Murtazaliev, he is a fighter under Igis Klimas. And if you know Igis Klimas, he's the guy that promotes these certain Eastern European fighters like Alexander Usyk, Sergey Kovalev, Vasyl Lomachenko, and one of the guys on the lineup is undefeated Bakram Murtazaliev. So I expect a blowout by this guy. Bakram Murtazaliev should look amazing, knocking out Josh Kelly tomorrow. And so I think that's going to be easy money. I would say probably knockout round 3 or 4, could be earlier than that. It might look like the Tim Tszyu fight. It's probably going to look like the Tim Tszyu fight. So I'm probably going to say like round 3 knockout for Bakram Murtazaliev. It'll look very similar to what we saw him do against Tim Tszyu in his last fight out. And then we go to New York for Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. Honestly, one of the biggest like fights we've had in like a year, maybe. I feel like. Well, I shouldn't say that. Like, dude, honestly, the boxing schedule has been so like weird recently, but I feel like 2 young superstars fighting like this. The last time we saw this was really Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. Like, sure, actually no, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, I guess you could say. But I don't know. This feels like, even though Teofimo's not undefeated still, it just feels like this is special. Like, this is 2. When Ryan fought Gervonta, those are 2 undefeated guys. So, but, you know, Teofimo has a loss to Kambosos. But I don't know. The last time I got to feel like this was Gervonta versus Ryan Garcia. That's the last time I got to feel like this. So Bruce Shushu Carrington, I don't know a lot about him. I honestly have like just not been into his fights. I know he's like a good upcoming prospect on ESPN for a long time now. But whenever he fights, like I'm just like, oh, here's Shushu Carrington. Let me just text people and do my thing while he fights on the undercard. So I haven't really watched a lot of him. I don't know Carlos Castro. Maybe I do. I mean, his name sounds familiar, even though it's kind of like a basic name for a boxer. I can't really give a prediction. I feel like the consensus would be Bruce Shushu Carrington is going to go on and win like a decision, maybe late knockout. I don't really know. Like, look, I need to be more in tune with boxing, and I am going to be more in tune with this channel because I'm going to start uploading every Friday. That's the thing I'm going to do now. I'm going to pay more attention to boxing, but like Shushu Carrington, I just haven't paid a lot of attention to him. So I can't really give my prediction on that fight. If I had to guess, it would be like Shushu decision, because I don't know much about the other guy. I don't know much about Shushu, so I'm just going to put that one under the rug and say, you know what? That's not really my... I can't give you a great prediction right now. But Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine Ortiz, that is a great fight. On paper, you know, I feel like it could be kind of a stinker just because, I don't know, the styles. Like last time we saw Jermaine Ortiz like in a big fight, maybe it was against Teofimo Lopez. When we saw him against Teofimo Lopez, some people thought he won, and then when he also fought Lomachenko, it was kind of close. So some haters thought like he beat Lomachenko. So Jermaine Ortiz is a high level competitor, but he was really boring in those fights. Like he's like an athletic, young, slick guy, and then Keyshawn Davis he's had all these mental health things, so it's hard to say where he's at mentally right now. It seems like a lot of these guys are having mental issues, and the stage they fight in, the stage they fight on, it's understandable. You're doing this in front of all those people. You have social media to make it worse, add drugs and stuff like that, and it can really mess with somebody's head. So Keyshawn, I don't really know where Keyshawn's at right now. I think Keyshawn is really talented when it comes to boxing. And I think if Keyshawn shows up, he could probably knock out Jermaine Ortiz. I'm serious. But I can't give that prediction because I don't know, like, his last fight, Keyshawn Davis's last fight, was literally... Oh my gosh, dude! It's been forever since I've done a prediction video, so I feel bad. Like, his last fight was canceled with Edwin De Los Santos, right? Yeah. So I don't think he's fought since then. Maybe he has. See, dude, I'm getting back into boxing. Don't judge me. But Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur, I've seen all their fights, so I'll know this to a T. But I've never really been good at like predicting co-mains and all that other stuff. But I'm gonna pick Keyshawn Davis because even though he's been outside the ring for a little bit, I feel like we're gonna see something special from him. And even though he's been saying crazy stuff, I just don't think Jermaine Ortiz, he's had some good like fights where he's hung in there against, Lopez and Lomachenko, but I just don't rate him that high. So I'm going to go with Keyshawn Davis. I think he could get a knockout, honestly, but I'm not going to say knockout. I'm going to say decision. But I wouldn't be surprised if Keyshawn got him out of there. So I'm going to say like Keyshawn Davis, unanimous decision against Jermaine Ortiz. And then the big main event, Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. I feel like this is such a great fight for so many reasons. It is 50-50 on paper because if you look at the resume, like Teofimo's resume is probably a little bit better. He has the win over Lomachenko. He just beat undefeated Arnold Barboza. And then Shakur Stevenson, he fought... well, if you really look at Teofimo's resume, there's really like... what's that word? There's like not nuances. There's like little things you have to notice. Like when he fought Lomachenko, it was a close fight. Lomachenko was near the end of his career. He was really small, and he had an injury and didn't fight for the first half of the fight, and that's mostly what gave Teofimo Lopez the win. So I kind of look at that win over Lomachenko with a grain of salt, even though he did get that win fair and square. It wasn't like Haney, where like everyone knows like Haney lost it. If you look at the rounds, like in the fight, generally Teofimo won. He won like 7-5. And especially the way he came back in the last round when Lomachenko started fighting back, that was brilliant by Teofimo Lopez. But Shakur Stevenson, I want to guess they're both around. I want to say Shakur is maybe like a year younger. I don't know their exact ages. I'm probably going to say like 28 and 28. Like that's what I would guess for each one. Probably both born in like 97-ish. I would guess around the dates. They're definitely like mid to late 20s. They're both very young still. So I was thinking about this fight like, oh my gosh, so 50-50, because I think Teofimo Lopez, when he shows up on the night, on any night, he can really perform well when he really puts his mind to it. But I really look at him like, who's he done it against? Sure, like Josh Taylor. Dude, Josh Taylor's like not that good in retrospect. Like Josh Taylor lost all of his fights after with Teofimo Lopez. He should have lost to Jack Catterall, and then he did lose to Jack Catterall fair and square in the rematch after he fought Teofimo Lopez. But Josh Taylor's like really nobody, and Teofimo just made like a joke out of him. And then Arnold Barboza, I mean, But Shakur Stevenson hasn't really fought anybody to make you say like, oh, he can beat Teofimo Lopez, who's already a proven like top guy. But straight up, I think Shakur is going to beat him. I think Shakur is going to beat Teofimo Lopez just because, I say like, see, Teofimo tricks me because, and I feel like he tricks a lot of guys because we always say like, I wanted to be cool about it. Be like, dude, when Teofimo shows up, he can really beat it. Like he's special. Like, but when I really look at it, we say that because of the Lomachenko fight, but the Lomachenko, like Teofimo looks so focused when he fights. He's like, and he's just very focused. But I'm like, that was against like an old Lomachenko, and whenever Lomachenko turned up the gas, like he lost like every round that Lomachenko like started fighting back, and that's why he wouldn't take a rematch against Lomachenko. So, it's interesting, but I don't think against a young guy like Shakur, Teofimo has much to bring to the table. They say he performs in bright lights, like he performs under bright lights, and he could, Teofimo could win, and I could be wrong. But I think Shakur's team probably sees something, like they're like, oh, we can get Teofimo now, and that was a good time. And I just think it's a good time for Shakur. I mean, the style matchup, I think it's probably going to be a boring fight, honestly. I think it's going to be a boring fight. I think Shakur will win like 8-4, probably no knockdowns. But the way I just look at them fight, like Teofimo is just an athletic guy, and outside that Lomachenko fight, I feel like Teofimo might be a bit like overrated, honestly, because just like I saw him against Barboza, he didn't have anything outside his toolbox besides like being athletic and just like, and that was against Barboza, a very B-level fighter, And when he fought Lomachenko, like remember, look at the silver linings. He beat Lomachenko fair and square. I'm not taking that win away, but when you really look at it, like Loma was old. He was way bigger. He was already okay. Loma was fighting at the biggest weight class he could possibly fight at, 135. Lomachenko's like a natural 126er, and then Teofimo was fighting at. Teofimo should be fighting like 147. I think this one's at. Yeah, it's on 140. Am I tripping? No, it's 140, right? It has to be 140, not 147. But these guys are moving. So I say that because these guys are moving so big. Like Ryan's already at 147, Devin's already at 147. It's like these guys are like these young guys are just moving up so quick. So it's hard to say. But no, Teofimo was probably like a natural 147er, and he was killing himself to make 135. And then Loma was making all this way up, and then they fought like 7-5. And I feel like that was probably the best night in Teofimo's career. But if we look at Teofimo, like outside of his athletic ability, he doesn't really have like much, I feel like he's athletic and explosive, but he doesn't have like that. And especially in his recent fights, he doesn't have that power, like that kill switch. Like he doesn't really, he hasn't gotten a knockout in like his last 6 fights. I think the last guy he fought was Campa. I think that's the guy's name. He knocked him out with the jab, but just, I don't know, dude. Teofimo's looked really limited to me, and, you know, he could totally, like, shock me, but I think Shakur is a young, very disciplined guy. You can say Shakur's boring, and I feel like he kind of is. Like, I mean, the Edwin De Los Santos fight was probably one of the worst fights I've ever seen. It was dreadful. Probably one of the worst boxing matches I've ever seen. It was probably better than Fury-Klitschko. It was that bad. But, you know, I think Shakur is a focused guy. I think he's going to go in there and do really good against, you know, box well, and then I just don't think Teofimo has enough. Like, he's athletic, but against Barboza, I saw that he kind of is limited. Like, he's just this athletic guy who can throw punches and move around and have fun, but he doesn't really have, like, that much power. Now he's at 140. He just doesn't have as much power as he used to. And Shakur is a very skilled boxer. And I was going to see if, like, being a southpaw would make a difference in this fight, because you know, sometimes the stances can matter. But and I looked at Teofimo's record. He's fought like, out of his last 10 fights, he's fought like 5 southpaws. He's fought so many southpaws, and he's done good. He's done bad. He lost to Cambosos, who was an orthodox, but he fought like Jermaine Ortiz, who we talked about earlier, who was a switch hitter. Okay, that's a bad example. I'm not going to talk about switch hitters. He fought Sandor Martin. A lot of people thought he lost that fight. He got dropped twice in that, even though one of them was called a slip. So it's, I don't know if but Lomachenko was a orthodox, and then Lomachenko was a southpaw, had success, but remember the silver linings. And Josh Kelly, I can't believe I just said Josh Kelly. Josh Taylor. See, all these guys, dude, in this video, I'm bringing up all the same names. Josh Taylor was a southpaw, and he destroyed him, but Josh Taylor's not really that good. So I just feel like this is going to be a good night for Shakur. I I could be wrong, but I just don't think Teofimo has that extra umph in him. But I'll be curious to see if he can bring it. And I'm probably going to bet on this fight. I'm probably going to bet Shakur Stevenson, but the odds are a bit more wide than I expected. But you know what? Maybe Teofimo, like, he really does perform under those bright lights. Like, those bright lights are the spotlight for him, and he's ready. Like, that Lomachenko fight was not a one-off. Like, when he fights another guy, like a young, like, he'll know what to do. But I just don't know. I just think Shakur is going to have this in the bag. And my overall prediction is that Shakur Stevenson will win a boring fight, 8-4, 9-3-ish over Teofimo Lopez. And I don't think it'll be controversial. I think people will be like, okay, Shakur won that fair and square. I think it'll be a unanimous decision. Probably no knockdowns. Wouldn't be surprised if Teofimo pulls it off. Like I said, I'm feeling 70-30 for Shakur Stevenson. But that's my prediction. Let's see if it comes to fruition. Let's see if it comes true, because like I said, I like to be called the prediction king. And I've been falling off with the prediction king recently, because like Andy Cruz fought. I have rarely seen him, dude. I just need to get back into boxing. Like, I feel like boxing really it's falling off now. Like, I wouldn't say falling off. It's a bit different than it used to be. Like, dude, Golovkin Canelo era, like 2018, 2019-ish, that was my thing. I paid attention to every fight. But now I just feel like things are a bit different. But I don't know. You know, I'm just a guy who talks boxing. What do we think about the new backdrop, y'all? I don't know if I'm gonna use this. I just made a new table. I just built a new table in my apartment. So yeah, pull this back. New videos every single Friday. I have some punch counts I want to upload too. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope you're having a great start to your new year. I want to have a really great year this year, and I'm gonna lock in. Like, I'm posting videos every single Friday. So whenever there's not a big fight we got to predict, we're gonna upload a punch count or an interview with a big boxer. I have a lot of things I want to do. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and I hope, like I said, I hope y'all doing well. I really don't know how to end these, bro. Like, I'm bad at that. But if I want to give a recap on like my predictions, I'm gonna go with Bakar Murtazaliev knockout round 3 against Josh Kelly. Shushu Carrington decision, even though I'm not really like big on Shushu yet. Keyshawn Davis decision, could see a knockout, but I'm going with decision. And then Shakur Stevenson decision. Could I see a knockout? Probably not. Shakur, his power is properly rated. Like, he's not that big of a puncher. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens tomorrow. Shakur 8-4. And yeah, God bless everybody. Much love. Follow me on Twitter, Jack Alter. I got my Instagram back after so long, Jack Alter _. And yeah, God bless everybody, and peace.